just share. So my next guest, she's slightly in a different industry. So she's not from the art scene per se, but I think most freelancers are probably in. But hers is a little bit different. She's more from the education space. So without
Nice.
further ado, I'd like to invite Sandra, who is a private tutor. Hi, Sandra.
Hello.
Hi. How are you
Hi.
doing?
Hi.
Good. Good.
So, in case you're wondering what subject she teach,
I'm
you can see from her
guessing.
background. Sandra
I'm
just
looking
moved.
at that. Brilliant.
It's so cute. Yeah.
Am
So
I
Sandra,
too old? Am I too old to come sit in your class, because that was the subject that I was the most rubbish at when I was at school.
Okay, we'll talk later.
oh,
No problem. No problem.
another. I just linked another one up.
Yes.
Sandra, your story is
Yeah.
slightly different. So, you work for more of like the education space. You're a private tutor. So, what have been some of the struggles since COVID-19 happened for you?
Okay, so since the start of the year, even before the circuit breaker was enforced, parents already started to drop out of the face-to-face tuition, and they said, oh, because of the virus, I'm afraid that my child is still going around in the community. So we will suspend tuition until things get better. So since the start of the year, income has dropped. And ever since circuit breaker, of course, definitely that was like zero. Okay. So immediately went into survival mode, like how, I need to shift my tuition to online, which was a tough call for me, very, very tough, because I haven't actually taught online before this. So quickly have to come up with lesson plans, materials, how to bring my lessons online, what the software I need, the hardware, So that was actually how I came up with this initiative of setting up my YouTube channel, Math Nuggets. Actually, with the initial thought of helping my own students do their own revision and learning at home by giving them video solutions to questions. So then subsequently, I decided that that could actually be used to help other students as well, like just anyone, who actually requires certain help in this subject. I was actually very blessed and fortunate to actually have found support and resources. So I found a few Facebook support group. So like SG COVID-19 Tutors and Educators Support Group.
Nice.
And another special mention to our Future Ready Tutors. This was set up by Jason Lee. He's someone who's not new to online tutoring. So he has been very helpful in sharing his knowledge on how to tutor effectively online. So I benefited greatly from that. So for those who actually haven't taught online before, right, we're actually being forced to adapt to this situation right now. So because if we don't adapt, then the income is basically going to be zero for the next few weeks or months even, right? We don't even know when we can start tutoring online again. Is it phase 2? Is it phase 3? When is phase 2 or 3 even going to happen? We don't know. So for those of us tutors who are actually struggling, who are not tech savvy, actually, to be honest, you don't need a lot of things to start tutoring online. If you don't know anything, you don't even need Zoom. You don't even need a writing tablet. With a mobile phone, you can just do WhatsApp video call, right? That will work as well. So yeah, in fact, essentially what I want to say is for other private tutors out there who are struggling right now, just reach out. There are many support groups available online on Facebook. There are many of us who are actually very willing to share.
So Sandra, for example, tutoring is something that is very, face to face, very one to one, in like together with a student. So to move tutoring to online, I'm sure there must be some parents who are actually very skeptical as to how effective is it. I'm spending money, I'm still paying you the same fees, but you're doing everything online. Like some of them might even think that that means your workload is less. You don't have to prep as much. But so for you as a private tutor, like have you encountered any parents who have this kind of challenges towards you? Like for example, like what, I don't think going online is great. I would just stop my kids' tuition for let's say 2 months.
Yeah. So fortunately for myself, I am very blessed that most of the parents that I deal with are very supportive and they actually believe in me. So they have been giving me support since the start. Even though, to be honest, I mean, at the beginning, I had zero experience tutoring online, but they were supportive and they went ahead. Of course, there's still the handful who don't believe in online tuition. They're like, no, this is not going to work for my child, and even if I offered them like free trial, like first lesson free, just come online and see how I conduct, and then you decide from there. No, my friends tell me it's not effective. So it's like, okay, then, parents like that, we can't actually help. But that part, those are the people that we can't actually reach out to, I would say. So in terms of workload, parents out there, online tutoring, home-based learning, educators are doing a lot more than face-to-face. A lot of prep work involved. How to keep your child engaged, how to keep the lesson interactive and interesting. If not, I mean, obviously looking at the screen only, anybody would just doze off and get bored, right? So, a lot of prep work for the games, and not to mention subscription. If you're going to pay for Zoom subscription or like some games or online classroom subscription, all these cost money as well. So not just money, but a lot of time to prep and lesson plan, do the lesson planning.
I'm so glad that you brought that up, because that's something that cuts across, I think, all the creative scenes. There's been a lot of talk about, just digitize your craft or your career, just digitize it, as though it's as simple as that. Let's wave a wand and we're all ready. And it sort of ignores the fact that, because one of the other initiatives that I'm working on is a music initiative called Take Back the Nights. Once the lockdown happened and we had to move all the concert series online, we realized that a lot of people were not equipped. And it's not as simple as, you are a good tutor, therefore just do it on your computer, it should be fine. Or you are a good musician, or you are a good dancer, just do it online. There's significant capital outlay that a lot of people don't think about. And this capital outlay, is it something that you can get back as a business expense when you file your taxes? Some people are not sure about that. Is it something that you can write off, or can you pass it on to your client? Because now, would I be correct in saying, Sandra, that you're still charging the same amount for your students?
Personally, yes, I am. But the initial weeks, I actually gave them, I still charge the same, but I gave them extra hours to factor in the fact that, there'll be teething technical issues, there'll be a lot of like disconnection, Wi-Fi, don't know how to get in, disconnection and stuff like that. Initially, I gave them an extra 1 to 2 hours. But going forward, like June, no more. We go back to our usual. So yeah, money-wise, it's still the same.
But that kind of underscores the point, though, because you as a tutor, or anyone else, like Shanice as a dancer, or any of the musicians, you're actually paying more money and putting in, you're spending more of your own savings to invest in software, hardware. And not only are you not allowed to charge for it, people are averse to it, and they're saying, oh no, now you need to convince me why I should allow you to provide the same service online. You need to convince me and give me a discount, whether it's in terms of more hours, to prove that, I should have the confidence to allow you to do the job that you are trained to do. And I find that entire thing kind of sad, really.
Audrey, I can chime in on this. So I actually have like a personal experience as well. So before circuit breaker happened, right, I do go for like weekly dance classes. Right. So now when circuit breaker happens, fitness studios are all closed, no gyms whatsoever. So like this dance instructor of mine that I go to actually has to bring her class offline. Right. Online to, from regular classes to the ones online on Zoom. So she was struggling between, can I actually make them pay for the same amount of fees per class, even though I'm also still paying rent, and I'm also paying for additional software as well. So ultimately, that's what she did. She actually she cut almost half of how much her classes are usually charged, because the whole idea of online people thinking that, hey, it's much cheaper, right? It's almost no cost, but rent is something that they don't think about. Software to support is also something they don't think about. So
that's why it's not that easy. Yeah, it's not that easy to say, just go online and there's no cost. Actually, there's more costs, and there's more time that we as freelancers have to put in to learn the software, learn the landscape, learn how to connect microphones, connect cables, set up these beautiful Zoom meetings, all these things that actually, if you think about it, we should be charging more for, not less.
Yeah. And actually to bring that to actually continue to convince parents who think that online tuition is less effective. To be honest, I was kind of not really so much convinced like into online tutoring before I started doing so. So I used to think that, oh, probably is less effective because we do need the face-to-face interaction, right? Nothing beats the face-to-face, all right, right? But I'm currently now a convert after these weeks of doing online tutoring. To be honest, online can be more effective, to be honest. And okay, why? Because firstly, flexible timing, no time wastage on traveling.
Right.
You know, you can adjust the lesson accordingly. If the student is not productive there and then, you know, you can like, okay, never mind, cut short now, no worries. You know, we can always make up another time.
Yep.
And you can also in between ad hoc lessons, consultations in between during the week. You know, it's really flexible. And but of course, there are also definitely exceptions. This will not work for every single student for sure. Like for those who are special needs, perhaps, you know, they have ADHD, attention deficit, right? They cannot
those
sit still.
who lack discipline as
Will
well.
yeah, you know, these will be the challenging group to help online. But for the bulk of the other students, you know, who take pride and responsibility in their own studies and work, online tutoring will work for them.
Okay. Thanks so much for sharing your story, Sandra. I'll just get you to off your mic and your video as well. And I'm bringing my next freelancer.